Clarity on Fire, a podcast for people who know what they don't want out of their life and career, but aren't sure what they'd rather be doing.
In a world where it's easy to exist, but hard to feel alive, we, Kristen
and Rachel,
two certified life and career coaches, are here to help you cut through the information overload, get unstuck, and focus not just on how you can have a career you're passionate about, but how to create a whole life that feels fulfilling.
So join us here, where we serve up inspiration and down-to-earth wisdom in a way that only two best friends can.
We want you to experience the relief of knowing that, yes, you're allowed to want more out of your life and career.
And no, you don't have to wander through the dark anymore. Our job is to light the fire that shows you the way. Let's go.
I want to apologize first thing because, you guys, this is not a new blog. But we have a really good reason why this is not a good blog.
I mean, we're working on a brand new course. We just don't have time to be writing all sorts of new content when I'm also writing content for the course.
We're putting all of our energy into that right now. And for most of you, this will be a new to you blog. So that's fine. It might be a good reminder.
It's actually not that old. It's actually from 2018, before we had the podcast. So
that still feels
it might not be. It's
long
like
enough
a year
ago.
and a half,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, that is not that long ago. When we were like 9, that was 8 million years ago. Now I feel like I blink and 18 months goes by.
I know, that's true. But even still, it's a good reminder.
So if you missed our announcements last week, I don't know how you could have. If you'd listened to both those episodes last week, you can't possibly have missed it. But if you did skip over those episodes, and really, shame on you, go back to Tuesday of last week where we talked about the two more big announcements, one of which is that we are launching our new course, Getting Over People Pleasing, on August 20th. So if you want all the details, go back to Tuesday and listen to that. And then on this past Friday, we had a new side chat about the 3 types of people pleasers, 2 of which are not obvious. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that yet, I think some of you are going to really feel called out because some of you think you're not falling into people-pleasing behavior, and you actually are. And you need to know that so that you can decide whether or not you want to do anything about it.
And one of the things you can do about it is the course we're going to be doing later in August. August 20th is going to be the opening day for enrollment for that course. And we don't know when we're going to do it again. So if that sounds intriguing to you, join the VIP list. Learn more about it. And
you're not going to get any more info when you join the VIP list.
Well, you'll be the first to know when it's available. You'll be the first.
I'm just saying, don't expect to join that list and then get 8 pages worth of detailed information about it.
No, we're not.
If you want more info, listen to the episode from last Tuesday.
We're not going to blow up your inbox.
No, we're literally not going to send you anything until the course is almost ready. So get on that list if you want more info in the future, in a few weeks from now. And also if you want cool stuff from us.
Yeah, you get some goodies that other people
I really hate the word
aren't going to
goodies.
get.
I don't like saying it. I don't feel like it's in character for me to say it.
No,
it's
for
like
you to say it, I don't
It's like our friend Stacy, whenever she goes to the bathroom, she's like, I have to tinkle. And it actually sounds like perfectly in character when she says it. And every time I try to say it, like jokingly say it, I can't say it for real. It's laughable. I cannot say that word.
It doesn't fit your personality.
Anyone take me seriously.
At all. And neither does the word goodies.
Maybe I'm not as good of an actress as I think I am then. Because if I really were, I could sell that tinkle.
Yeah, I've never heard you sell it.
Okay. Well, all of that said, this is an old blog of mine. And it's apropos because it's about my go-to move when I'm feeling overwhelmed.
I've been emailing with multiple clients lately about overwhelm. So I know there's plenty of people who need to hear this. Even just in my circle right now.
As an anxiety-laden person and as someone who is overwhelmed, semi-regularly, and now especially because we're creating a whole new course, which is not like a normal amount of work. Usually you're not creating a course on top of all the other work you're doing. I do feel rather overwhelmed lately. And so,
did you bring it back for yourself?
Get a taste of your own damn medicine.
As much as everyone else?
Yeah, pretty much. Because I was like, oh yeah, I need to do that when I was rereading it. So,
All right. Even we can give ourselves good reminders sometimes too. And you can just benefit as well. So, all right, let's hear it.
My go-to move for getting out of overwhelm.
You've probably heard that oft-repeated, likely untrue anecdote about frogs. If they start out sitting in cool water and the temperature is gradually raised bit by bit, they'll never jump out. They'll end up boiling themselves to death without ever realizing it. Now you're thinking, wow, super weird and depressing intro to a blog. Thanks, Rachel. I know, forgive me. It's just, I am that frog sometimes. Personally, I feel like this is exactly what getting into a state of deep overwhelm is like. One day, I wake up to find myself anxious, panicked, rushed, overwhelmed, aka neck deep in boiling water, and I can't tell when it started. It came on so gradually that I didn't notice until I was already way far gone. I share this today because, quite frankly, I've been feeling overwhelmed lately, and it is so uncomfortable. It's hard to know what to do when you're in this state. You certainly can't think very clearly, and you have no idea where to begin unwinding the mess you're in. And when you feel like that, it's easy to shut down and do nothing, which inevitably makes the overwhelm worse because more things pile on top of you while you're blocking out the world. So I thought I would share my go-to move for getting out of overwhelm. It's the kind of thing that all of us can do. And in my experience, it always helps alleviate the worst of the pressure. And it's probably not what you expect. Skimming off the top. Like pretty much everyone I know, I often feel pressed for time. And in that state, I tend to only focus on the necessities. I get my work done, make sure the dog is taken care of, and focus on eating well and drinking enough liquids. I feel like I'm very often skimming off the top of my responsibilities and all of the things I could be doing, as if on any given day, I'm getting maybe 20% of what ideally could be done. Of course, the problem with skimming is that eventually, the little things that seem sort of innocuous, the mess in my closet, that pile of unopened mail, those receipts that need organizing, add up to the point that I'm nearly surrounded by things I haven't given proper attention. And that, I find, is when overwhelm really hits me. When I feel assaulted on all sides by my daily responsibilities and all the little crap I haven't done. I'm a big believer in the idea that the state of our outer world reflects the state of our inner world. If our space, our home, office, car, wherever, feels chaotic, then we very likely feel chaotic too. It's hard to focus or feel at ease when your space feels chaotic, which of course makes it harder to get even those basic responsibilities accomplished. How are we supposed to do our best work or take proper care of ourselves when our energy is being drained by all of the nagging to-dos? Cue massive emotional breakdown, because now I can't even do what I'm supposed to be doing, let alone focus on all the things I should be doing. When all else fails, clean out your closet. When I get to this point, I realize that the very best thing I can do is to find a way to release the worst of the pressure and resistance I'm feeling. It's like I literally need to let some air out of my valves. And the easiest way to bring some peace back to my inner world is to spend a little time bringing peace to my outer world. It sounds overly simple, but that's why it works. Whether you can see it or not, energy tends to get stuck in us and in our environment and can start to fester. Often the quickest way to get energy moving again is to literally start clearing it out. So here's a list of things that I tend to focus on when I know I need to clean up my energy and get back on track. Clean out my closet. Donate anything that needs to go and generally reorganize and straighten things. Clean out the fridge or pantry. All those leftover containers, random bottles of expired condiments, peanut butter with one dried scoop left at the bottom, toss it out. Sort and file receipts or piles of mail. Bonus if you also shred old documents that are just collecting dust. Call customer service. At any given time, I feel like adults have at least one company they're procrastinating calling to sort out an annoying issue. Am I right? Dispose of light bulbs and batteries. You can't just throw these things out, so they tend to sit around the house in weird piles, or they do at my house. Bag them up and take them to a place like Home Depot who recycles them for you. Get rid of old electronics and cords. One of the best space-clearing things I ever did was take a pile of old gadgets, cords, and cables to Best Buy, who accepts this sort of crap. Clean out my car or get an oil change. Or, you know what? Pay for the car to get cleaned while I read a book. That works too. Buy gifts for upcoming events. I can't tell you how many times I have to remind myself to buy something for a wedding or baby shower. It eats up so much energy. Just sit down and buy it. Organize my bathroom cabinets. I feel like every woman has a cabinet where beauty products go to die. Tackle the random piles of miscellaneous crap. I know you have these too. It's just random assortments of things that have been sitting in one spot so long, you've forgotten that they're not actually an architectural fixture of that spot. Clean out your computer or email inbox. Digital space is a thing too, and you deserve to clear it out. This is far from an exhaustive list, but you get the idea. Make a day of it. Obviously, you can't be expected to do all of that in one day. I mean, you could certainly try if you were feeling ambitious and wanted to knock a bunch of things out in one fell swoop. But I'd start with scheduling an hour or two and focusing on one thing. Either the easiest thing for you to start with, or maybe the thing that's draining your energy the most. Set a timer if you need to. This doesn't need to drag on forever. Whenever I do this, I always find so much relief on the other side. It leaves me feeling lighter, which is no coincidence because I've literally just released a bunch of pent-up energy that was weighing me down. And more accomplished too, which then, as luck would have it, makes it easier to tackle the bigger responsibilities with less anxiety and overwhelm. And this works even if you aren't feeling overwhelmed. Give it a whirl if you've been feeling stuck, confused, lethargic, or just generally sort of blah. All of those are signs that your energy is stagnant, and this is an easy way to get things flowing. One last thing. Is this the answer to all overwhelm? No, of course it isn't. Overwhelm is certainly exacerbated by outer chaos, but your outer circumstances aren't the cause of overwhelm. True freedom from overwhelm, which is a form of anxiety, which at its most base level is just fear, is an inside job. Life will always be chaos in one way or another, and the mark of an evolved person is one who can reach a place of inner calm regardless of what's happening outside of them. That's something we work on in coaching, and that can take a long time to master, as I'm clearly evidence of. But can you release some of the pressure by clearing your space? Absolutely. And with that space, is it easier to calm down and get back into a state of flow? Yes. Just don't let this be your only solution for managing overwhelm. So what kind of space are you going to clear this week? Personally, I think I'm going to tackle my car and sorting through receipts. So come share what yours are in the comments.
We have a new interview with an expert coming on Friday.
Yes, with a very different kind of expert than we've maybe ever had on. Someone who's probably the most successful expert we've ever had on. And by successful, you all know, lest you freak out at me using the word successful, you define success in your own way. What I mean by that is that by anyone's traditional standard of success, Susan has met it in that she's the founder and president of multi-level companies. I mean, a company with 4 companies underneath it.
Yes.
So she's a master recruiter. She's been doing it for like almost 40 years.
Yes. We had an episode with a recruiter last year, and now we are interviewing not just a recruiter, but someone who owns 4 recruiting companies, who has been doing this for her entire career. So she has a lot of good wisdom. Might trigger a little bit.
Oh yeah, she's going to trigger
some of you, and that's all right.
Yeah.
And there's also some really good nuggets of wisdom in there if you are looking for a job, on some of the best ways to do that and be efficient about it, frankly.
Yeah, really. Just get out of your way. Stop wasting your time. And she really slashed through some limiting beliefs too about what it takes to get a job. So I thought it was really interesting, and I think you guys will want to come back for that on Friday. So we will see you then.